Drag racing comes to Hockenheim near Frankfurt in Germany for the annual Nitro Olympics. The Hockenheim ring, which also hosts the German Formula One and Bike Grand Prix, is known to circuit racers as a super fast racetrack, and its straights are just perfect for quarter-mile drag racing. We'll be bringing you the best of racing from here, featuring the European Top Fuel Series. Here are our stars of the show lining up for their presentation to the big crowd that's here at Hockenheim. These modern-day monster motor cars which can accelerate up to 100 miles an hour in under a second. We'll also be looking at the European Top Alcohol Championship, round 6 of that series, the Super Twin Top Fuel Bike Championship, and some old-fashioned door slammers called Pro Street Car. You know, the crowds have really turned out in their thousands here for this unusual sight of watching drag racing on a circuit. The place is absolutely packed with people. But let's get right underway with Top Fuel dragsters. The number 1 qualifier is this man from Finland, Risto Putiainen, and he must be really happy.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Only that we had a test in Norway 2 weeks ago and car performed really well.
You did a 5:15, didn't you?
5:15 and 5:16, and we had a top speed European record of 284 miles per hour.
So people are saying yesterday in qualifying that if you kept that Norway tune-up here today, you could be the winning car.
Well, we'll see. It's a very tricky track, and I think Rico is hard to beat here. He's always dangerous in here, but so are we.
Our number 2 qualifier is Sweden's Peter Lantz with a 5:34. He's the current points leader.
We need to bring out the good numbers here to trying to beat Avestat and then see what's happened to Tony. So can we be a little bit more ahead of him? I think we have a good time in England at all finals actually, that we're really going to try to hit the good numbers.
Who do you think your toughest competitor is? Because it's been an all-out battle between you, Harpinen and Tony Brinson this year, hasn't it?
Tony is really consistency. You never can count him out, or he can't count me. So he's the toughest one.
You didn't look happy when you fired the car up before. Is there a problem?
Yeah, that's. It sounds like my grandma can drive it right now. It's we have some problem when it's running idle. Actually, we have a little bit too much fuel pressure. We have to do something about it before going out there.
And you got an hour to do it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Qualifying at 9, Sweden's Tony Brinson grabs the number 3 spot with a 5:35.
Tony Brinson from Sweden, you're number 2 in the championship against the other Swede, Peter Lantz. This has been a big battle of the Swedes this season, yes?
Yes, that's true.
You've got Rico Antes in the next round. You've got lane choice. You pretty confident?
I think we're going to beat him, but you can't be sure because it's drag racing, so everything can happen.
What was it like to win at Mantorp in front of your home crowd last weekend?
It was lovely. Terrific. All our sponsors was there and we have a good time.
So coming back to drag racing for you this year was a good choice?
Yeah, sure. Now when we are second place and we're not so much points behind Peter.
What is it going to take for you to overtake him in points?
I think if we go 2 rounds more than him, then we are the leaders in the championship.
4th spot goes to Dal Denton from America in Germany's Rico Antes' second car. Now, he qualified with a 5:56, but besides driving, he also has to crew for Rico himself. What a busy weekend this man has. Number 5 spot with a 574 goes to Tommy Hockenheim from Finland. It's his first year in Top Fuel racing and he's driving Risto Putianin's old car, and he's a hard man to beat. What's worrying all the other drivers is the fact that this man is known as Mr. Consistency. A below par 6 spot goes to Rico Antes. He's the German who's also promoting this meeting, and he runs a 6.62, well off of his normal form.
Rico Antes, you're holding up the German end as well here at Hockenheim, and you've got 2 cars campaigning in this race. Now that you've got some fantastic new technology in your old car, the nose is a Formula 1 design, is that true?
Yeah, when we had that crash in England, we came back and we decided to do something new, because I talked to many people that are doing Formula cars, building these cars, and they said the wind is a major factor coming up to speeds over 400.
And you'd know.
And I know that. So we said, okay, we try something and design the front end new, because we had to do it new anyway. And well, we made some compromises there. It's not that as radical as the Formula 1, but it works, and we proved it in Austria. We set new track record in Austria. It runs good over here. We had a little problem on the wing to get all the downforce, but the front end, all that design works perfect.
So you qualified yesterday in your new car and your old car. Which one do you prefer?
I like my old car better, because the new one doesn't go as it should go, actually. I mean, it's a killer car, what they say from the States, but it's not doing as good as it should yet.
Too much of a killer?
I guess so. It's too much horsepower, so we're trying to take as much as we can out and make a decent lap run. Today we have to run again Brinterson, and, well, we'll see. I mean, a 35 we should be able to do.
So what about your partner, Dale Denton, in the old car, which you prefer to drive? How will you feel if you go out and he goes through?
Well, probably the first time that the crew chief finished the race for a team.
Yeah. Well, good luck to both of you.
Thanks.
A troublesome 7th placing for Swedish lady Vivica Avested, seen here in the left-hand lane, shutting off early and running a 6.87.
Vivica, this is just not your track, is it?
No, I don't think so. We will see after this first round. But I mean, yesterday we got problems. As you saw, I just ran, it was not full pass run. And it was because we damaged parts, and I could feel that the car runs so heavy. I mean, for me, I think it was just 1,000 horsepower in the car. So maybe we left rest of the horsepower in the trailer, I don't know.
Now, you've had a pretty bad season, haven't you? Because you've gone out in the first round at every race.
Yeah. This is not my year, so I think I can repair it after this, maybe today.
What's the problem? I mean, it just seems that you're encountering small problems every single time.
It's simple, stupid problems. I mean, at Peter it was the reverse, and at Mantorp it was the front axle was bent. So I mean, it's not big problem,
so
but
who do you
it's
beat
enough.
In the next round?
Peter.
So, and he's got lane choice.
Yes, of course. But I mean, this is racing, and everything can happen. And I know that if I can make a full pass run, I'm going to run much, much quicker.
Okay, we go straight into round 1. We feel the need for speed, and we're going to get it with these two. The two drivers going with the burnout. Sweden's Tony Brintenson, Germany's Rico Antes. Our numbers 3 and 6 qualifiers. Now Rico is on his home territory here, and he should be the hard man to beat. But Brintenson, back in drag racing after a year layoff, has got really quick reaction time. But Rico psychs him out. It's Rico who gets to the top end first. He takes the win. 5.24. Great race from Rico Antes. And we move straight on. The action doesn't stop here. This is Vivica Avested, the lady who has been around drag racing for a long, long time, racing against her fellow countryman, Peter Lantz. Now then, Peter Lantz was our number 2 qualifier. Vivica Avested not that happy with the track here this weekend. Just final adjustments being made to that fuel system there on Peter Lantz's car. That unusual scoop which sits on top of the machine guaranteed, so Peter says, to push in 15% more air into the engine. And here they go, and it's Lance all the way. Vivica stays with him, but it's Peter Lance who takes the win, 5.38 as opposed to a lose-out 6.17. Okay, the next pair come up with their burnout, the Flying Finn. Tommy Huppernan up against Rico Antes, crew chief in the number 2 car. Now, this really is going to be something. If Dale Denton, he's a very experienced drag racer, he runs a drag racing school. The man hails from Texas, been around drag racing a long time. He's up against a rookie driver here, but it's a better reaction time from Tommy Huppernan. He shows the old guy the way home, and it's Huppernan who takes the win. 5.32, lose out of 5.84 to Dale Denton. Well, this is Risto Putianin. He is on a bye run in this round. He was our number 1 qualifier, and we're seeing him in the Mobile 1 car, which is usually the ride of Liv Berstadt. She's away from racing at the moment, but he runs through there really, really hard, 5.30. So, here we go then, at the end of round 1. Risto is through on that bye run. Tommy Huppernan took out Dale Denton, Peter Lance took out Vivica Avestead and meets Rico Antes in the next round. But don't go away, coming up after the break, it's the Nitro Burning Harleys! Welcome back to Hockenheim's Nitro Olympics, and we go into round 1 of the Nitro Burning Super Twins. This is where they say, does the ground move for you? And you say it shook a lot. Okay, our first pair gives us Anders Charlie Carling against another fellow countryman, Jürgen Bowell, both on Harley Davidsons. And just look at the front wheel of Charlie Carling, pushing right up in the air there. It's him all the way through. He collects a timing ticket of 4.58. Now this racing, Super Twins, is open to any 4-stroke twin. And we get a variance from Ducatis through to Triumphs, and mainly we'll be looking at Harley Davidsons. Here's a Harley against the Puma. Gerard Willems from Netherlands with his Puma against Hans Reimer from Germany. And it's Willems who gets to the top end first, 4.98, again over the 8th mile. Next pair gives us Harley Davidson Evo against Harley Davidson Evo. Lothar Schmidt against Werner Sohm. And this is Austria against Germany. And that huge leap away from the start line there for Werner Sohm means he broke nearly everything at the back of his bike, allowing Lothar Schmidt to take the win with a 4.88. And there's a very, very upset Werner Sohm. He broke all of the bolts off of his rear sprocket, just put too much power down. Well, here's a man who's currently leading the championship. He's the 1993 champion. He's the quickest Harley rider outside of America. That's Great Britain's Adam Hewitt. Now, he's up against, from Finland, Harry Raikkonen. And it should be Hewitt all the way, but Hewitt pulls a red light. That's the first time we've ever seen Adam Hewitt do this, allowing Harry Raikkonen to go through into the next round. He runs a 5.18. So let's see what it looks like for round number 2. Anders Carling will be meeting Gerard Willems and Lothar Schmidt against the very, very happy Harry Raikkonen. Well, the action doesn't stop. We just keep on going here. It's round 1 of Top Alcohol. And here's our first pair. Anita Michaela against Urs Urbacher. Dragster against this amazing paint scheme on this Dodge Daytona buddy car. That's the Swiss driver in there, Urs Urbacher, a real hard competitor, but he's up against a lady who's on form this year. She has already been down into the 5-second bracket, and she's away first. Anita Michaela gets away first. Look at the bumpy ride there for Urs Urbacher, but it's Michaela all the way.
Michaela, you've had a fantastic season so far. You've broken the European record. You've had low ET and top speed in every meeting you've been in. You won in Pitya. You've qualified number 1 in this meeting. You've done pretty well.
Well, thank you. Yes, we are very pleased for this meeting. My car is in excellent shape. I have an excellent crew, and so far everything has been very, very well.
But there again, there are 3 more races to go. This Hockenheim and then 2 Santa Berts, and after that we know what's going to happen then.
That last race against Herbacher was pretty hairy.
Oh, it sure was. Urs is one of the toughest guys in alcohol, and I was aware that he can make a very good passes when everything will, match. But this time we were luckier, and
you had to beat him on the line.
Well, we beat him in the lights, and there again our car was faster than his was.
So this next round against Johansson, that's another toughie.
Well, it sure is, and well, after an hour we know what's going to happen, but it's going to be tough, real tough one.
Our next pair again puts a funny car against the dragster. Germany's Peter Cruz against this man, Sweden's Krista Johansson. And Krista gets the better start line reaction. Peter Cruz gets all sorts of problems, and Krista takes the win in this race with a 6:33.
Krista Johansson, you're number 2 in the championship, right up behind Anita Michaela. You're facing her in the next round. Are you confident?
Yeah, well, as I can be, but she's running good, and we're trying to pick up, but we're going to do the best we can.
Because you had a great meeting in Austria the last round, didn't you? You won it outright.
Yeah, that's right, we had, and well, everything can happen, so we're going to do our best, and what can we do?
Well, the next pair puts drag racing old style against drag racing new style. This is France's Bob Fieler in his up-to-the-minute rear-engine dragster against the new kid on the block from Germany, Bernd Seminati, in his slingshot rail. And away goes Bob Fieler first. Seminati just slowly away from the start line, but Fieler has pulled a red light. He's out. New kid on the block takes the win.
Bernd Seminati, you're the only German competing in top alcohol here at Hockenheim. You had a pretty easy run against Fieler. He did a 6:16 but pulled a red on you. Are you going to be so lucky in the next round?
Yeah, I cannot say I wait for the next good chance like that, but I do my best and I drive for my fun.
That was a pretty big wheel stand we saw you do in the first round.
Yeah, I think it was the same again.
Is that pretty common with a car like this?
No, not really.
Great Britain's Rob Turner got himself the number 5 qualifying spot here at Hockenheim, and he's up against another new man, Peter Beck from Switzerland. And it looks as though Peter Beck has got some problems. Rob Turner's going to go this one on his own now. Is he going to soft pedal it, or is he going to look for lane choice in the next round? He's going for it. He's on a roll here this weekend. And he runs 6.41. 199 miles per hour, just clicking it off before the finish line.
You had a pretty easy round the last round, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, it was pretty easy. The other car failed to fire up, so we had a solo, but we still tried for lane choice.
Which you now have, and you're up against Seminati in the next round.
Yeah, Bob Fieler, who was racing Seminati Red Lit, who was a stronger competition. So we have a pretty easy round in this next round, provided we don't do anything silly.
So in the next, if you get through this round, the next round you got someone pretty tough, haven't you? Either Kagarad or Nebo.
Yeah, things are going to start getting tough then, so we're going to have to find a bit more somewhere.
Last year's champion, Michael Kagarad, showing us all at Hockenheim his brand new Mustang. And he's up against ever-improving Great Britain driver Alan Jackson. Now, Jackson qualified in the number 10 spot. Kagarad was the number 3 man. Kagarad's been having 1 or 2 settling down problems with his new car, but he makes easy work of Alan Jackson. Gets to the top end first, 6.38, but Jackson runs a 6.87, a career best.
Mickey Kagarad from Sweden, you've had a few teething problems with this new car, but is it coming together for you now?
Yeah, I hope that. We must sort the car out, and we haven't done that yet, but it's going better and better. Was there a problem in the last round against the Englishman Alan Jackson? With that, you got a 6.38. Yeah, we had some problem. We smoked the tires again, and but we ran 6.30 anyway, so.
Are you slightly worried about your European Championship crown that you won last year? Because Anita Michaela's right up there now. She's beating you.
Oh yeah, she has been very tough this year, and they have a good car. They run every round, race they run very well, and they're very tough.
So you're going to be trying hard today. How much more work do you have to do to catch her up in points?
I'm not sure about that, but I think it's only 2 rounds or something. But they have a good car just now, and this track is for a dragster, so it's hard to beat them.
So the next pair is dragster against funny car again. In the funny car from Switzerland, it's Detso Kriban. And he's up against another new driver from Denmark, Jens Nybo. Now Detso Kriban reverses back, pulls on the brake lever in that funny car, and by doing this, he unfortunately releases his parachute. So, by this time, they've got real problems there trying to separate the axle from the parachute. It's Jens Nybo on a solo byrun, and he does very well. 6.94 gets him through into the next round.
Nybo from Denmark, you qualified number 4 yesterday, and you're up against Kagerad, who's a pretty tough competitor in the next round. The last round we saw you against Kriven. Did you back off when you saw Kriven's chutes come out? Or?
No, after the burnout, I back up in the water again, and I got water on my slicks, and when I get off the starting line, they begin to spin the tires, and I lost the grip, and the engine went up to 10,000 RPMs.
That's why you had a very high ET.
Yeah.
And this next race against Kagerad, have you raced him before?
Yes, and we beat him as 18 mile, and I'm gonna beat him now, I think.
So in the next round, it's that young man against Michael Kagerad, and these are the other pairs. Anita Michaela against Christy Johansson, Bernd Seminati against Rob Turner. But don't go away, the top fuelers are back after the break. Welcome back to the Hockenheim ring in Germany and the Nitro Olympics. Well, the tension is mounting now for the top fuel drivers as they enter into the semi-finals of this, the 5th round of the Top Fuel Association Series. The first pair out, Tommy Hopperden against fellow countryman Risto Putianin. Now, I've heard on the grapevine that these two do not like one another an awful lot. So this is going to be a real grudge race between these two. So they head back behind the start line. Who is it going to be? Tommy Hopperden, who is sitting in Risto's old car and would dearly love to beat him. Or will it be this man? And great start line reaction from Risto Putianin. And all the way through, 5.24, he takes the win. Lose out Tommy Hopperden, 5.46. He lost that on the start line. A 0.4 reaction time for Risto, a 0.7 for Tommy Hopperden. So here's our next pair. Rico Antes going with the burnout. Here comes Peter Lantz. So this puts Germany against Sweden. And Rico Antes really looking to do well in front of his home crowd here. Well, here they are, both up against the start line. The crew chiefs just making their final adjustments before they run. But what do they think they've got to do, these two drivers, to actually win the race?
There need to be 2 good numbers out there, actually. I hope we're going to win this.
But not such an easy run to the final.
No way, no way.
Well, I think we can do it. The question is, will the car be in the same performance as we had it last run?
Well, neither of them seem really confident, so let's see the proof of the pudding being in the eating. They're away from the start line. It's better start line reaction from Rico Antes, and it's Rico all the way. He takes the win, 5.30, shuts down Peter Lantz, 5.39. Goodness, that's close. Now let's have a look at the final then. It puts Rico Antes against Risto Putianin, always assuming that everything has gone according to plan. You like your cars old, you like your cars American, you like your cars powerful, then this has got to be for you. This is Pro Street Car. These cars, steel bodies, American door slammers, lightened for speed, 1,000 brake horsepower is the only limitation here. Left-hand side of the strip, we've got Marcus Hill from Switzerland with his Chevy Vega up against the station wagon. That's a Pontiac Le Mans of Urs Embacher, and it's Hill all the way, gets to the top end first and gets through into the next round, running over the quarter of a mile. Oh, I love these machines. They are tremendous. A 67 Camaro against a Dodge Ram pickup. Tony Hodel in the saloon car, the Camaro, up against George Schumacher with the pickup truck. Surely a pickup truck can't take out the Camaro, but he's giving him a great run for the money right the way through, but it is the Camaro who goes through into the next round, but only just. Oh, let's have a look at those times. Don't you just love them? Marcus Hill goes through into the next round with that run of 8.91, where he meets the Camaro of Tony Hodel. So we're into the semi-finals of Top Alcohol. And our first pair out there, Anita Michaela against Christy Johansson. This is going to be tight. And it is Christy Johansson who pulls a better start line reaction, but Anita Michaela on power takes it at the top end. Just takes it, 6.13. She shuts down Christy Johansson. Wow, great racing. And here's our next pair. Britain's sole remaining survivor in the semi-finals. The man from Payerne Ferries in Northamptonshire, Rob Turner, up against Bernd Seminardi from Germany in that slingshot dragster. Well, it's another wheels up away from the start line for the German, but it's Rob Turner all the way. 6.60 for Rob Turner, losing out Bernd Seminardi 8.30. Okay, here's our next pair. And this is Jens Nebo with the dragster up against the 1993 Top Alcohol champion, Michael Kagarad. Now, if you remember the interview, Jens Nebo said he had beaten Michael Kagarad before, and not only that he'd beaten him before, that he was going to beat him on this particular race. Well, is he? Let's wait and see. The rookie takes on the master, and certainly Jens Nebo is away first, and there's problems. Kagarad has problems, and all of those predictions come true as 6.23 for Jens Nebo. Now, Kagarad is going to be one very unhappy driver.
Nicky, it's not often you lose in the second round. You look like you lost a blower belt there.
Yeah, it was a bad luck. We lost the blower belt and the engine stopped then.
You disappointed?
Oh yeah.
What will this do to your points?
Oh, Anita is a long way before me now, and I need to win both races in England and hope that Anita goes out in the first round or something.
Which is doubtful.
She is very good this year, and she has been very tough all the year, so she's good.
Okay, so let's see what happens in the next round. Anita Michaela is on a bye run through into the final, and Britain's Rob Turner comes up against Jens Nebo. So let's speed off back into the semi-finals of the Super Twins. And the first pair puts Sweden against the Netherlands, Harley Davidson against the Puma, and Puma is a derivative of the Triumph twin of years gone by, and Anders Charlie Carling up against Gerard Willems. So here they come, up to the start line, and away first is Anders Carling. Better start line reaction for him, and over the 8th mile it is Anders Carling who takes the win, 4.64, lose out to Gerard Willems, 9.30. Well, no matter what happens in this race, it's going to be an all Harley-Davidson final, because these two are side by side with Harley-Davidson. The yellow bike, that's Germany's Lothar Schmidt, up against the Flying Finn, Harry Raikkonen on his Harley-Davidson. So, up to the start line with these two. Now, is it going to be Germany against Sweden or Finland against Sweden? And the final is Germany. All the way through Lothar Schmidt, right to the 8th mile mark. He takes the win, 4.95, shutting down Harry Raikkonen, 5.45. So there you are, perfect final. Harley against Harley, Carling against Schmidt. So let's go back to four wheels now, and the semi-finals of Top Alcohol. And this young lady from Finland, when she's not racing, believe it or not, she looks after chickens. She's a chicken farmer. She is looking for lane choice in the final. She's on her own, so she isn't going to be soft pedaling. She's going for it, and she records a 6.17, 225 miles per hour. A great timing ticket for Anita Michaela. She is going to be meeting one of these two. From Denmark, Jens Nybo. From Great Britain, Rob Turner. Now, Rob Turner came through into this round having run a 6.60, but the car has the capabilities to run down into the 6.2s. Jens Nybo got through into this round with a 6.2. So at this point in time, he must feel everything is going his way. Now, can the British driver, Rob Turner, upset the apple cart? Concentration, looking at those lights that control the start line. Moving up, fully into stage. And they're away, and look at that wheel stand. Jens Nybo really hooks up those front wheels. That has hurt his time, and it's Rob Turner who takes the win, 6.33. And let's just watch this as those wheels go up in the air. He can't steer at that point in time. That is real heavy drag racing.
That was a pretty hairy last round with that wheel stand in the right-hand lane.
Yes, yeah, it happened to us last weekend, so we know what it feels like.
Yeah, that 5:33, are you happy with that? It's been your sort of consistent time over the weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah, it should have been quicker. We actually blew the burst panel on the blower towards the top end, so the fuel system's too lean. So we've just got to get that back a bit richer.
And you're up against the championship leader at the moment, Anita Michaela.
Yeah.
Pretty tough competitor.
Yeah, we're obviously going to try for a good light against her and try and find a bit more power.
Happy to get this far?
Yeah, it's the first ever final in the European Championship, so it's been a brilliant weekend for us.
So Anita, once again, you're in the finals.
That's right, and we are having Rob Turner against us, and it will be very exciting to see what will happen. None of these races has been so-called easy ones, except this Byron, of course. And in drag racing, whatever can always happen, so... But I'll definitely try to do my best.
Make me feel so...
And that's a racing certainty from Anita Michaela. She will be doing her best. She'll have to. She's up against Great Britain's Rob Turner in the final of this round of Top Alcohol. And coming up right after the break, all of the finals from Hockenheim. Welcome back to Hockenheim for the culmination of a superb weekend's racing. We're going to be starting all of the finals. Stand by for action.
You make me feel so...
First out on the strip, the Pro Street Cars. These Detroit door slammers that pack 1,000 horsepower of punch. It's an all-Swiss final and it's an all-Chevrolet final. In the yellow Camaro, Tony Hoddle. In the Chevrolet Vega, it's Marcus Hilt. So up to the start line for these two. Now reaction time should be good. Approaching point 4 if they're looking for the win here. And look at that wheel stand, a huge wheel stand from the Vega. That's Marcus Hilt. He had the better reaction time, but that cost him dear. It's Tony Hoddle who takes the win. A jubilant crew there. 8.26, lose out 8.92.
Tony, it was an all-Swiss final and you came out on top.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Do you think you pulled a red light down there?
I don't think so, no. Everything goes so quickly. That's impossible to know.
Are you normally in the finals, or?
It's normal, yeah. Normal, yeah.
You're one of the top guys in this class.
The last few races, also, yes. This was the reason, yeah.
Well done, Tony Hoddle. There's the final 8.26 against that wheel standing 8.92 as we move into the final of the Nitro burning Super Twins. Lothar Schmidt on the yellow Harley Davidson against Sweden's Anders Charlie Carling in the opposing lane. Now this really could be anybody's. These two very, very similar times right the way through the event. Up to the start line. All important on the start line reaction. They're looking for a 0.4 if they can get it. So, it is Schmidt who's away first and racing up the 8 mile line. But look at the power from Carling. He drives by, records a 4.62, lose out 5.14. So all conquering then, Sweden's Anders Charlie Carling, 4.62 and 151 miles an hour at the end of the 8th mile. It's the final of this round of top alcohol, and there is a lot of British hope resting on this man, Rob Turner. But he is up against a lady who is truly on form in 1994, Finland's Anita Mäkelä. Already this season, we have seen her pass what we thought was an unconquerable barrier, the 5-second bracket. She has run 5s before. Can she repeat that here at Hockenheim? Well, two really experienced drag racers, Finland against Great Britain, and it's a better reaction time from Anita Mäkelä, but that's just when she powers through. Anita Mäkelä takes the win, more points for the Flying Finn. Absolute jubilation there. 6.10, a great run. 228 miles per hour, but no condemnation of Rob Turner. He loses out with his best run of the weekend, 6.26, 222 miles per hour. So let's ride down to the bottom end of the strip with the winning team. There's Rob Turner, he looks happy, had a great run, and here is the winner. Anita Mäkelä really joining in the celebrations with all of her crew, the crew that have put her there in the winner's enclosure. They have worked so long and hard this weekend and of course consolidated her at the top of the championship table. That must be a pleasing thing for this young lady. So she's ahead on points. She's the current European record holder. Can anybody beat her?
Well, it has been a really tough weekend. First Urs, then Krister, then we had a easy go, and now Rob Turner. Whomever out of us could have won this meeting, and they were really tough competitors. I'm so proud and pleased for my crew, my team. They are excellent guys.
And a 6.10 on that track is amazing.
Oh, I can't believe that. It's really good run.
And now you're so far ahead in points that not anyone can catch you really now, can they?
Well, there are 2 more meetings to go on, so whatever can still happen. So we have to, be the best possible good shape in Santa Port after next week. So they still got the chance to beat us, so We don't say anything what will happen before we know exactly.
Rob, you must be thrilled with that. 6:10 against your 6:26. That's a great final race for you.
Yeah, it's the quickest run for 4 years for us, so you know it's been an unbelievable weekend for us really, and we're back on form now, and you know I can't thank my crew enough. They've worked real hard all weekend.
Worth the trip all the way over here to Germany?
Oh yeah, definitely. I really like this track.
Well, Rob Turner's very happy as we move on to the Top Fuel final. Well, here's Risto Putianin, but here is a very dejected Rico Anthes. He's still in the pits. That last run really damaged his engine. So it's not going to be Rico's day. You can see the disappointment in his face. It's going to be a solo run for Risto Putianin. It's the Flying Finn going with the burnout in the car owned by a Norwegian crew, the Mobile 1 car. What a great weekend this man has had. Only his third outing in this machine, and here he is in the winner's enclosure. By default, the fact that Rico Anthes, of course, cannot come out and make a race of it, but Risto will give it the gun. We're sure of that. He's going to go for it. He's getting used to the car, getting used to working with this crew. Now, I wonder whether we're going to see a really good time. That's crew chief Ruderfield making final adjustments to the fuel system. Watch those lights burn down. Here comes the green. Well, a slow start, no reaction, but it's all the way through. Gives us our quickest ET of the weekend. 5.24, 276 miles per hour. Risto collects the majority of the points from this win, and for the first time in a long time puts the Mobile 1 team back in the winner's circle. Jubilation then all the way around for this team, and let's just turn our attention to the final. That magnificent 5.24 for Risto means he's a very happy man indeed.
Risto, congratulations. What happened up there?
Thank you very much. Rico wasn't ready. There was only an hour and a half to make the car ready, and he has the engine on the table, and the race director ordered us to make the final as a bye run. That was fine with me.
So,
too bad that happened that way. I wouldn't like to beat Rico.
Yeah, because it would have been a fantastic final, because you both did a 5.24, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
There's only 2,000 of a second difference between him and me.
So a solid and deserved win at the end of the day for Risto Putianin, but nobody in drag racing enjoys a final on their own. The thrill of the race is what it's all about. Peter Lantz is still leading the points despite his early knockout, but all the accolades this weekend go to this man, Risto Putianin. Well, that's it from Hockenheim. The next round of European drag racing is at Santa Pod, and we'll be there. Join us then.